I had a colleague send me a case and they wanted to know which of these two plans I would go with. Now, the only goal of this treatment was to close the front gap between 8 and 9. And you see the gap closes here, you see the gap closes here. And they wanted my opinion on which would be better. So let me tell you what I told them. So in this plan, what was happening is there was a mesial movement of the two teeth. Now, right off the bat, you notice that this central remains out compared to that. So there's an easy fix to nudge that in. But what you still could do is have this mesial movement and the teeth converge this way. Now, the issue with this and why this is a less favorable movement for aligners is that involves moving these teeth mesially. On the computer screen, you see a bodily movement of those teeth, but that's tough to achieve, especially if the space was larger than what you see here now. And that's because the aligners don't have a purchase point to grab this tooth from the front and the back and slide it over this way. You do have a little bit of the distal edge, so that's true. Same on the other. But there will be a tendency for those teeth as they get moved to tilt this way. Now, in this case, if this tooth does tilt a little, it might work out. But I'm just thinking in general, especially if the space was bigger, then you end up getting contact at the incisal edge and you'll develop a dark triangle. And furthermore, in this case, there is overjet and an open bite. There's no contact. So there's no inhibition to do what I think would be the better plan and retract that tooth. When you do that, of course, you're aligning it, but you're not moving the teeth mesially much at all. There is a mesial vector as the tooth moves back, but that's just because the arch is constricting. And there's no contact on the lower that would prevent this. Now, where you may have to resort to a mesial movement would be in a class 3 type case, where you have either edge to edge and you don't want to retract and you'll get anterior prematurities, or an edge to edge, if I said that before, or class 3 underbite case. Also, you wouldn't want to worsen that. But in this case, you have overjet to start. So this is not the way I would go. This is the way I would go.